No, I want to.
It's a present. Okay, so this. It will be there.
Okay.
You just have to press this.
Okay, thanks.
Anything else, sir?
Thank you. Thank you and good morning. First of all, I would like to thank our department for inviting us, for organizing this ceremony. I will call it our celebrations, academic anniversaries. And celebrations like this are not only important for students and staffs, it's also important for alumni like us. It is also important for people who sponsor our research. It is also important for the industry. And we have seen yesterday what was happening. They all were celebrating. This also gives us an opportunity to look back in time when this was created, this department, 100 years back, what we have achieved. And today we are standing here and looking what was the vision of Mahamana Malviji and what we have achieved. And I feel really happy to see that we have achieved much more what he was expecting. It has become a beacon and pioneer in field of mining engineering. And as I was talking to some of you, when you get educated in BHU in mining, you don't become a mining engineer. You become a journalist, general engineer, you can fit anywhere. We are so trained. And as you grow up in your career, it helps us lot. Like I work a lot with railway, I work with even nuclear power plants and aviation. And I never felt that I don't have the knowledge. I have a general knowledge. 15 years back, I was sitting in a meeting and ABB CEO was there. He says, we have a full pack of specialists. They are good in electronic, they are good in automation, but we are looking for general technologists. And I said, look for mining engineers. And they were all happy. So what I'm trying to say, this opportunity gives us to look back and also look now, and also gives us an opportunity to look into the future. Peep into the future, I will call it, that where you should head. So it gives us also opportunity to benchmark and looking into the future is a bit difficult, and this what I am going to talk will be futuristic talk. And when you don't design, when you don't define, only you can define, don't design, it's very difficult to understand the future. So prediction, now we are living in the age of AI, and we say like AI can predict, and it can predict with lot of certainty. But AI in marketing, AI in the consumer goods, and AI in industrial AI is a bit different. Industries AI is totally different, and we are doing a lot of work in that area. Even though I'm not very deeply involved with mining right now in Sweden, I used to be connected. I'm associated a lot of foundations and all. So I'll be talking something which will be a little bit futuristic in approach. Let's start with this. Where is Luleå? 2-3 people asked me, where is Luleå? I always carry this map with me when I have to present. Because Luleå is not London that everyone knows. Where is the point? Do you have any pointer, color pointer? Any pointers? Color one. No problem. You can look into that. It's very near the polar circle, but also it is a small town. 70,000 people live, 70 to 80 variation, and lot of investment is going on there. $52 billion in last 5 years, and 2 more years, 7 years. That's the plan. The European Commission had a first industry policy meeting in Luleå last June, and US and EU benchmarking exercise on artificial intelligence was done in Luleå. So Luleå is going through what we call twin transition, digital transformation and green transition. So both. So this is a hub of investment, like it's a city with the largest investment in whole of Northern Europe. A small city, but as you see, it's a dark. You can see the northern lights, if you see here, very often in the winter. It's a daylight is only 4 or 5 hours. This is a picture from December, I can tell very quickly, taken by the university. And I am also chair professor, even though I am director of the center, but my appointment is in this department, and there are a lot of activities here. We work with railway, mining, hydropower, manufacturing, aviation, etc. Now, coming back to the talk. Actually, Actually, I am not used to stay and talk. What we are talking about, technology-empowered mining operation. Many years back, so you started with the steam engine power, mechanical power. So from steam to cloud we are talking, cloud technology, cloud computing, etc. So what it is symbolizing, from James Watt engine, steam power. He started with the cattle actually. He learned that it has some power. Now we are moving towards cloud. And that symbolizes what is going to change. So when we talk about mining operation next generation, it will go through a digital transformation. And as I say, mining has boarded the digital train last few years, I see. When you board the digital train, you have to go through different processes and procedures will be coming. Then you have to also fulfill the requirement of sustainability requirement, green transition. Means whenever I am producing a ton of ore, am I adding carbon footprint or am I reducing? So Sweden, we have said like LKAB went out with a big advertisement in 2019. LKAB is a Swedish mining company known for its iron ore underground technology and all. It says, if you produce any steel with the Swedish iron ore pellets, your reduction of carbon will be minus 15%. And I'll be coming back, some of the things I'll be talking. Recently, 5 years ago, in our group actually, we were thinking what to do when SDG program come from United Nations. And we identify climate change adaptations. We are running many projects on climate change adaptation, how operations can adapt the changes in climate, in open pit especially. When it is going to temperature variations, lot of rains, how can we meet those things? Transportation, even though underground mine has nothing to do with the changes in outside, that supply chain. See, mining is a logistics. We have to understand this part. It's much logistics than only science and arts. So mining, I usually say in my field, railway maintenance and all, 80% is logistics, 20% is engineering. You have a materials, and now it's information logistics. When I talk about cloud system, when I talk about cloud mining, means it's a information logistics, not only physical logistics. You don't need to transport man, material, but you have to have the right information in right place to right people. That's a logistics of information, how information is fly. And then also supply chain of logistics, who should get, when he should get, and how he should get, and which format he should get. Many things are there. We need to look. So this is the next part. Sometime I was here in November and some of my colleagues here said, I put like this is our teaching. People should understand what is difference between digitization and digitalization. People do digitization and think they have digitalized the things. Digitization, when I take a photo and put it in digital, 01, that's a digitization. What is digitalization? It's different than that. When I'm using for different processes, like creating value. Usually 7-8 years ago, when we started teaching difference between digitization and digitalization, I always take one example, always whenever I say, when you go to a dentist and you have an electronic brush or electrical brush, there is a camera, it will take a picture of your dental configuration. That's a digitize. You have digitizing your dental process, like a teeth. When you click a button, it goes to your dentist. That's a digitalization. He looks and tells you have one hole. Come back Monday, Tuesday. He may be connected to your mobile phone and he himself will book because you have given him authorization. Now it has become, I create the value in the process. I don't need to go to dentist. I don't need to talk to him. He looks into my digital pictures and tells come for the control of your dental. When this is happening, let's say suddenly the county, let's say I am living in Benares, and suddenly I find the campus BHU area, everyone is having this hole, so many holes in the teeth. Means water is not good, food is not good, many things. So the whole county administration, so it's a digital transformation of dental control processes. You understand? Digitization, digitalization and digital transfer. Like that in mining. Mining I can digitize like a maintenance. Then I will do a digital value like a truck is working. But when I have a combined mining process controlled by this digital, and it has two advantages. I'll be back. One is a transparencies. You see, like BHU area has a bad quality of teeth. People have many holes. And traceability, why it is coming. You can trace it. What type of people? 50 plus people or 20 plus people. What type of food they are eating? Are they eating a lot of different types of foods and all? I'll be coming back. So when you look here, it's also from these pictures. It's a when we're talking about intelligent mine in 1998, that time was very much. So this picture was drawn actually. It is also in the book. They took it and modified it. So it's a human collaboration. It's a lot of manual power, you can see. But now evolution took place and gradually we went to machine to cloud. We went to the cloud or metaverse. That's an avatar I will be showing. Like avatar will be doing the mining for you. But what it will be doing, because it will be pressing the buttons, inspection and all, I'll show you a couple of videos. So transformation and transition and changes have taken place. Manual to cloud power, data driven. But remember, data driven is not pure, data driven operations are not mining. You cannot do it. I'll be coming why. So new technology facilitates safe mining because people will be less there. It will be done by the digitalization, digital power will be there. People you are controlling. So safe mining. Why it will be lean? Because now I'll be able to, when I'm doing exploration, when I'm planning the mine, I have a mining plan. I can match exactly how much we should mine, where we should stop, how to match the quality, many things. So it will become a lean mining. You will not do many waste operations. You will have the transparencies and you will have also traceability from where problem is coming. So you can control it. And green mining, because less waste, less consumption of resources, and also less carbon footprint, because supply chain will be optimized. New technology, because this is like a roadmap we create, keeping in view the government policies, companies' policies and all, and you get a new technology roadmap. So technology empowered mining, this is, it will have manual to autonomous. You saw the people were hanging and that was a pure manual. So now it's all autonomous. Avatars are doing the drilling and all. Optimize energy use, increase productivity, transparency and traceability, accelerated innovation, correct decision making through deeper insights. Yeah, connectivity, just one example I was telling why. Connectivity underground. Underground, what we call GPS denied environment. You don't have a GPS. So a lot of efforts are being done now. And in Kiruna mine and on mine in Garpenberry, we are testing this one. That how can you can locate, because navigation underground, if you don't have the positioning and you can't do it. So you can see a lot of 5G is being introduced now and it will be solving a lot of problem. Also in the mines, different type of satellites now being bring to the local databases, and we are using the local. This is ITIC mine. It's almost 450 meters deep and producing 40 million tons of copper pyrite. So these are LKB pictures actually. Transformation of mining through knowledge. Knowledge is technology and innovation. So improve existing technology and mining methods, increase remote control, develop new working method, process and technology. So when you want to, if you go back again, I'm just introducing the topic. So in the past, it was a mechanical power. You remember, when I say steam, that is a industry 1.0. Those who are following 1.0, 2.0, 3.0 and 4. So electrical and mechanical, they were the powers. And innovations were done, I say maintenance or mining. See, by mistake, it's a maintenance. By experience. Now it has become data-driven solutions everywhere. And we are doing. So data, if you have data analytics defines and decides businesses. This is a Financial Times or Economic Times, I don't know from where. There was a big article that everything is now data driven, but this is good only for financial sector, banking sector, other hospitals. We are engineers. We have a physical products. We produce something. I'll be coming back. It's not everything is data driven. You have to have something else. industrial AI is not pure data driven. It is a technology driven. It's like operational technology mainly driven. We need to develop separately. Okay. So when you have mind data analytics, so you can look. So see the cycle, descriptive. You describe the situation, what we are doing, why it is doing. Then you go to the diagnostics. What is going to, why it is happening like this? Diagnostic, go to doctors and all. Why it is happening. And prognostics, what will happen next moment. That's the future. And predicting future using data power. But problem is like when you're using data power only, what will happen? Data driven. You need to understand the physics. Because we are not in the banks, we are not using the bank data, or we are not using hospital data or people's eating behavior or purchasing behavior. What we are doing, we want to understand how my machine is behaving. So I have a data from a particular machine, particular set of machine. What will happen if working conditions are changing, how failures are developing, if the metals is different, how the failure development process. So if you try to go down, you can go down up to the nano level and see the changes in structure and monitor. So you have to understand, if you really want to predict here, I needed a, okay, here is this. You need to predict the future. You need many information. Predicting future is very difficult if you have, especially if I have not written it, if I have not designed it, if I have not predicted the way I want it. So it's very difficult. So once you have prediction, prognostics, then you go for last 6-7 years, lot of work is being done on the prescriptive analytics. Like it's not enough to know that machine is going to fail. It's not enough that coal washery will not function properly. I need to get a suggestion. How can we control it, the failure? Is it not? Prescriptive, if I go to a doctor says, you have some problem or you are likely to be sick or this and that, and you will die 6 months. Then he says, okay, go to New York and get it treated. That's a prescription we're looking. Okay, so prediction is the key in the new technology area. In the past, again, actually, I'm always going to the past because we are celebrating 100 years. What was there and what is we are going. So in the past, predictions were made by watching the flights of bird, some thousands and thousands of years, and direction of and velocity of wind, ants movements, the animals moving, etc. Then it came the Google glasses. Now I predict how the future will look. When you are landing on the plane, even there is a fog, people don't land the plane, but you can see it. You can predict how future will be looking. You can predict only. So mining areas, 3 main technology are now becoming more dominant actually. One is dogs. It's a robotic dogs. We call dogs, drones, and digital twins. These 3. What is dog? This is a dog deployed in LKB, you can say Kiruna mine, and we have also in the lab. This dog is inspecting a collapse in one area. Or it is a blast. No, this is a blast actually inspecting. And there is a film you can see if it works. No? How to see it's a dog is being trained to identify. That's why it is becoming very safe actually mining. And it is still under training. We are training in our lab and you can hear the sound? No. So what it is doing, there was a collapse of a tunnel sometime in March last week in Malmberget mine of Kiruna. So instead of sending people, it was sent by the dog was sent from 200 meters. So it went and took pictures of the bolts which were put on the size of the bolts, where it was broken. Otherwise people have to wait a lot. So it was sent immediately after 2 hours. And it sent all the pictures, everything, details, and corrective actions were initiated. So it is safe, it cut down the cost and make the working safe. And after inspecting, it can go back to get itself charged. It has made a lot of advantage. We are using this dog for the railway inspections on the track. It goes, if the image is not matching, it takes deeper pictures. It has a LiDAR also. It can mount a lot of things. It can carry up to 14 kg of load on this. Third one is a Second one it came, digital twin. Digital twin is a virtual representation that serves as a real-time digital counterpart. And I will not talk about, everyone is talking about digital twin, what it will do, what I am not seeing. And I'm telling, I haven't seen a digital twin working so far. What people are doing, they go for this physical model. Here, half of the people are here. When the digital model they are creating, they think it's a digital twin. It is not digital twin. Digital twin have both-way communication. And many people have come up to this point. They bring many people, because 25% I will say, physical to digital object. They are sending data, but this is not functioning, digital to physical. When you want to control, it's not working. Digital twin is here, true digital twin. Both way communication in real time, you can do it. And it's a very difficult to get it on an asset level. So people are trying to get for the pumps. That's easy. You can control the pumps and all. This is digital twin. So robot dogs, drones actually are being deployed for survey in open pit mine, locating the machine position through satellite positions, lot of things. Actually, drone technology has come to, instead of correct locating where the machine is there, instead of 3 drones, people are using single drones now. And that technology is there also. Some recent development, metaverse, how metaverse can be useful for mine. Just this is an example from railway actually. I wanted to have a LSD machine, I didn't get it. And see this avatars, this is our lab actually. So we have created this metaverse, and last year I was giving an opening speech in Montpellier in France about railway technology, and we presented metaverse it was. And this showed, first time we demonstrated metaverse can be used for industry, not only for social media, for inspection and teaching. It's like it says, being there without being there. Like a train is moving. We demonstrate to Alstom actually, and something goes wrong with the train. So if you have iPhone 14, the train operator goes down and takes scan the wheel of the wheel has a problem, or bearing has then he has a data, and person sitting in Australia, if it is a time difference, expert is connected, and he can see through my instrument the real situation of the wheel and tell, okay, run the train or stop the train. So this is an example. Similarly, mining, many decisions can be taken for safety and all. So like a sport example is there. Now you see this is again in the lab. This is those many of you have been there. So what we are trying to train, that how to find in a wheel the spots that creates the problem for the tracks, rails and all. It's a railway track from our lab. We have outside lab and all. So from there we have brought it. And this has created a different type of thoughts. Network rail from England, from New Zealand, from Japan, people have come to see this, how we are implementing this. And this is done with the mobile phone actually. We have a LiDAR and all, but we wanted to say it should be easy to use it. Let me see. Oh. So these are some of the other examples like environment, constructions, anywhere you can. These all are training. These are also, you can see. No, it's not working. There was a sport now, more study, more training and inspection now. It has been getting to be implemented. We got some money from the government, free money. And it was like a transformative high-risk project, we call it. Even if you fail, nobody is going to audit it. So we introduced this training and only bought this dog, LiDAR systems, this like a scanning of the tracks and all, and we are experimenting a lot with that. Hopefully it will be implemented in 2026 in the Swedish Rail. Okay, challenges. So far we have said you can do many opportunities you have, you can deliver many things, you can be there without being there, you can look into the future, you are bringing more productivity, but there are a lot of challenges. And if you divide them broadly into 3 groups, technology related, business related, and governance related. Technology means cyber security is one of the biggest problem in data-driven approach. People can steal your data, people can look into, I say it will bring transparencies, not only for you, many other people can look what you are doing. So it's creating a sorts of, for competitors, unhealthy competition. Many people can look into your information. What is your status? What is your production values? What you are planning in future? People can look. So we have to be very careful. Then there are many multi-platform and cross-platform compatibilities. Like if I'm combining data from, let's say, Amazon or from the different companies, how to combine them in one platform. So you have a data ownership problem. Like you will collect the data, somebody will distribute the data, somebody will integrate the data, and somebody will use. We have to define all these things very well. So governance and business. Business is built on the trust. What I'm going to get if I'm sharing my data? This is the biggest question. Governance has become the discussion globally. How can we contain this data-driven? How can we contain this AI ecosystem? If you don't manage, if you don't have a governance models, it will create a lot of problem. And three issues: data privacy, data democratization, and data distribution. Who should control? How am I going to make it public? But somebody is paying to collect the data. How business will work on that? Lot many things. Questions are coming. And it is also questioning the safety, security, and sharing. People can safe. Is it safe? Because people can locate. If I'm driving my car, this modern car, my enemy knows exactly where I'm located, which point I'm there. People can kidnap me, anything they can do. My car will tell the position, or my watch where I'm here. So safety of individual. Security, we know, cyber security. Sharing has many business implications. How can we share the data? So all these 3 A's has created a lot of discussions and all. And also transformation is not always a smooth process in most of the organization. It's very difficult. People don't want to change. How will bring the first questions will come, am I going to lose my job? Second one, like people like, this is, you have seen many of, this is from YouTube actually. It's a very interesting video. How many of you have seen this one? Yes, it's a very interesting, when we came to know where, I was that day in Palo Alto when it was released. And let me see, it is working, yeah. He put the, you can create a chaos in society if you are, you just want to play with the people. Just put 50 iPhone and go around. So Google Maps shows that this road is completely blocked with red. And there is not a single car on that road. We have to deal with all these situations. And there were many navigation failure and all. So data-driven approach, you know, it's relatively easy. We do in lab. Very nicely it works. When we bring to site in the mine or construction or railway, it doesn't work so well. Industrial AI, it works very well in the marketing and all those things. But industrial setup, because everything is individual. Every machine gives its own signature. Every failure is unique. You need a better understanding. So we have a lot of data, but we don't get much things. Now concluding. So when you want to implement new technology, legacy system, we don't want to get rid of our old machines. So you try to how to match them, how to become more compatible, old machine with the new machine. And we had one Vice Chancellor came some 10 years. He says, throw all the old PCs, don't keep them. I don't want to see them. So overnight we threw 5,000 pieces. We didn't throw, it was given to the schools. Then it was bought the new one. Because we were thinking, I feel very comfortable with my young old machines actually. I don't change very often because I know everything. The new computer I have to change, it takes me a couple of months to get used to that. I am also an example of legacy system. So I myself is legacy. I talk about this, but I practice it. So absolutely. Standardization we know. Without this, it never will work. We have to be standard You remember those who are not, many of you don't know, Sony and Philip had a fight for the CDs. They had a different CD machines. When they standardized, become one, both has their sale went up for both the companies. Best example, bulbs. We use any bulbs anywhere. We need some similar things and all. Cyber, human factors. We are loaded with so many information. Our brain is loaded. We cannot take the load. Data ownership, we said, who should own, who should not, which data should not be, and what is the data democracy, organization culture, governance. Governance is this is like a data overload, challenging to pay attention to all. Then we are trying to, this is our lab actually, we are trying to measure the data overload in the brain. By Professor Prakash, you are also working on that, I know. EEG, we have put, because problem is like so much data is going to the guy who is sitting in front of this screen. How it is changing is, so every 2 hours, brain changes. How can you increase of cognitive workload? We are trying to measure that also. And this started with 3 years ago, Swedish Olympic came to us. And they wanted to know, when you are shooting it, in a shooter in the Winter Olympics, so how the shooter's mental workload, so physiology, neurology and psychology, all three should be aligned to shoot the right points because they come with a lot of pressure and they have to stand and shoot. So nerve system should work, neurology, physiology, they should be very focused, and psychology, that they have to hit. And then we said we can use this for others. So now we've extended many places this project. It was a confidential, so we were not doing. Last year we were allowed to talk about it. When you sent the thesis, I said, I know, but I don't want to talk about it. I was refusing that time. But we made a thesis in the department here. So we evaluated that. Okay. Transformation, not always we talked about it. I don't want to say. Now coming to new technologies. You need guardrails and guide rails both. Governance. What is guardrails? You are driving. You should not fall. AI should not damage us. So we have a bigger need for guardrails and so that we can make the technology trustworthy. And AU Commission, last June we had a meeting in Luleå, and December 17, 18th, they came out with these guardrails and guide rails. After a lot of discussion, guardrails, like it should not fall, guide rails, where to move. So 3 pillars they discussed. Guardrails are like you are not allowed to do dangerous thing with the AI. If you do, you will be held accountable and punished. All have got. Guarded innovation, your innovation should be focused on productivity and efficiency, not on damaging some people like a cyber security issues and all. It has to be very stringent rules are there now, 280 pages or something. It's there on the net, you can find. Governance, like ethical issues, governance is a very big issues. Like ethical issues and privacy, taxation. What is happening? These tax issues are becoming big issues because earlier 100 people were working, they were paying taxes. Now today no one is paying tax because they put a machine is not giving any tax. Productivity has increased. So Bill Gates actually, he initiated that when we buy a machine, depending on the production, there should be tax as humans were paying. Because in Sweden, one area in middle of Sweden, there were 2,000 workers, now only 400 workers, and nobody is paying tax other people. So you cannot fund the hospitals, schools, roads. So it has created a lot of problem, demographic. So people are moving out of that. So no tax because there is no school. Why I will keep my kids there? Why shall I live there? So it has created a big issues here, demographic issues. And so taxation, and this is on debate next. European Union directives are coming, act. So summing it up, future development and directions, it will depend on the AI and generative AI governance model, regulatory measures. And when you talk about AI governance model, many of you are following the write-ups like a QA star. You know QA star, OpenAI. This is the one company that has created a lot of problems. November CEO was removed because he said that it can do complex mathematics. And mathematics is very important. If I am explaining something without math, it will give us a lesser understanding of the things of the world. So we have to understand, we should be able to describe things mathematically. And QA star OpenAI, this new ChatGPT's next version, it is claimed that it can solve complex geometrical problem, and it has a logical brain. That logical part is from DeepMind of Google. And if you get a DeepMind of Google, it will solve many of the ground problem, actually, ground supports and all those things. Because problem is like a Kiruna mines, we have a lot of bolts, smart bolts actually. And when we are, it's a Canadian project, we are doing it. And it's still confidential, but I can tell. So we, through the dog, we put the LiDAR on the robot dog and we took some samples in Kiruna area, because Kiruna is a partner. It has taken, and we wanted to measure the ground movements actually, 1 millimeter. So every week we were collecting sample. Then we created a map, and we can see in 5 weeks it has moved almost 6 millimeters, the ground there. Means there is a ground movements from safety. So lot of things we can do. And when QA star comes, it will solve quickly these things. You don't need 5-6 weeks. It will predict the 2025 January 30th, what will be the temperature of Pacific Ocean in this region, this area. That will define when it is going to rain in this Pacific region, or Atlantic Ocean when it is going to get snow. 1 or 2 years in advance we'll be knowing. We can fix the conference. There is no fog, then we'll have the conference. And that is scary for some people. 2020, I came to Lulio from China. I was there just before this virus, Wuhan virus came. And there was a benchmarking on AI. I was there attending the Science Academy meeting, and I asked the Chinese president of AI, when AI will become intelligence better than humans. And he says it will take 10 years, but we are scared. But it is now here in 3 years. So developments has been exponential, much beyond anybody's imagination. Even Sam Altman, he said, I never thought it will go so fast. So we are in an age, we need to be prepared to deal with the generative AI. We have to be. There is no way out to accept it. Changes are going to be so fast in every 3 years. And that's why we are advocating you should have what we call innovative learning spaces in the universities. People need to come back to learn things every 3 years, 5 years, 6 months, 4 months. You will not be able to learn everything at yourself, because by time it will take more time. So in Lulio, what we are trying to do, change the teaching. Actually, I was asked to prepare a draft in the board. When I was in board, now I left the board there. And we call it like innovative learning spaces. Like people from the industry will come, student will be there, young students, they will interact. People will go back, they will implement, student will learn a lot of practical industrial settings and all. So this is a very complex, things are happening. And next new things, you get a fatigue. I had these pictures, next new thing, fatigue. And what is happening, you don't see, by the time you learn, something is becoming outdated. You have to be dealing with this situation. And finally, we have to guard us against this one. We should not become slave of technology. You understand this? And there was a fine cartoon in Times of India, I remember, or Economic Times. A manager is sitting in front of CEO. CEO asks, why not you are implementing artificial intelligence here in the company? Fast pace. Sir, my problem is not artificial intelligence. It's a human intelligence is my problem. People are not able to cope up with that. So things are changing. Things will keep on changing. And I am going to say, last is not visible here, robotics, automation, what we call social media of machine. We are chatting, we are twittering, we are doing. Machine will tell. This is being done for the car, 2015 Google was testing and is still testing, but not yet safe. Last 10 days ago there was an accident, you might have read in the paper. So twittering of machine, because satellites are not functioning, and I can tell you the US defense, they're trying to get the data from single satellites instead of 3. Because triangulation, you need to locate the exact position. Mining, we have learned. Now they are going to have single satellite. A space.com, one company, I know very well about that company, some insight. So they have got the $300 million project to deal with this. Because military is interested to have only one satellite so that they can pinpoint the targets. It's a confidential, but go to their home page and look into that. So location, mining location will be very important in open pit mine when we are trying to study the health of machines, which machine is where. So navigation can be done. Okay. I think I came to end. This is the end. Thank you. Okay. Any quick question? I don't want to be in between your lunch and stop. Any quick question? आप बोलिए. Reflection.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Sir, yeah, here. Just near to you.
Okay, near to. And now I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Actually, somebody can close that light. It will be. I'm not able to see anything. Okay, it's good. Can you switch off that light on the center? It's. आप कर दीजिए स्विच सेंटर में जो लाइट उसको ऑफ कर सकते हैं क्या? हाँ ठीक है आप चलिए हाँ. That's good.
Sir?
Now I see.
Are you getting me?
Yeah, now I'm hearing you.
So, in Indian context, for visionary, for getting the knowledge of past or future, ठीक है, that is not in our eyes. जैसे अगर हम हिंदी में कहें कि हम पीछे का ऐसा चीज जो भूल गए हों और जो आगे का जो हमें ज्ञात न हो, इसको जानने के लिए सर हम ज्योतिष का सहारा लेते हैं. तो इज देयर एनी वे कि एआई को ज्योतिष हेल्प कर रहा हो या नहीं कर रहा है? मतलब मैं जानना चाहता हूं कि वेदर ज्योतिष नॉलेज इज डूइंग सम रोल इन दिस field of AI?
Not doing, but Jyotish jo bana tha, it's based on our experience actually. Like a stars, people have been practicing this many years. Jyotish is not built on, I'm Indian, that's why I'm telling in India. Outside or not, it's built on the vast experience of the past. What we are predicting, people predict it. And AI is also using the data, informations and all to predict the future. Even though it is not true, but if you have a lot of machine learning mode, so you train them. And similar things happening, the AI will predict that it is going to happen this. And it has been really doing very good. Only it comes to industry, it is not good in the sense because every machines are becoming different and different. Like a purchasing behavior, they can predict very well. So आपका जवाब मैं हिंदी में दे रहा हूँ कि हाँ वो बना हुआ है, but AI is built the same path AI is following as our Jyotishars have been doing.
Thank you, sir.
Huh? No. No, you have to be politically correct when you're talking and all.
Sir, very nice talk. For AI, we need a data, but about mining, there is no certainty for the data. Indeed, if we talk about some artificial material, it has fixed properties. That properties are not going to change.
No.
So, I mean, the end result based on that one will be very much correct. But what happens to mining when we are playing with the rock and all these material? There is no certainty about data. It behave like this only.
Yeah, that's what I was telling.
It changes from place to place and all that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just I want to know
okay,
your
it's a very,
view
see, we are doing like what we call like a industrial AI. That's why I say it's every mine is unique. Every area can be unique. But as Einstein has said, all models are wrong, but some are useful. So what we are trying to, when there is a darkness, a tunnel light can be trained, but it's useful. We see that something is coming. So what we are trying to do, actually I was talking very popular, what we are trying to do, get a data from the mine. Actually we are looking on the rock mechanics. We are trying to create a lot of what we call synthetic data out of that. Creating synthetic data, as an engineer, I can tell you, and data science, we have a totally two different schools. When a data scientist starts the synthetic data, he has a no understanding of domain knowledge. I, as a mining or rock mechanics engineer, I have a domain knowledge. I know my synthetic data, if my assumptions are like a homogeneous or non-homogeneous process. I don't want to use this word, but it's coming. So when you have a non-homogeneous processes, your data clustering will be different, totally different. And if I have a domain knowledge, so I understand the rock mechanics of the area, my data will be representing that area. But if I send this data to a scientist, let's say, don't take it negative, we have sent data to Bangalore actually, because very cheap, but analysis was not good. It's not their fault. So you can go totally different information and all. So we always say, don't do models, machine learning models should be hybrid. It should have a physics of understanding of physics, physics of failure model, plus data model, plus also contextual model. Contextual information, like a temperature is changing. If I can simulate that using some AI model, all three, not only see the data from the mine, create a machine learning, you can get it very cheap. So what I had no photos of that. I had one slide, but I removed it. You understand? You have to have a domain knowledge. Without that, nothing will work. It's a fundamental for engineering. That's the base of industrial AI actually. And that's why many times these models are not working in industry. One example, railway people are there, I can tell you. 2016, railway board, we had a meeting. I was participating that same as a member of this technology mission of Indian Railway. GE, they spent $100 million. You can look into the internet, you will find a lot of story. Predicts one program they developed, predicting the future in rail wheels and all. That was developed by Caltech, PhD and professors with Stanford jointly. When it was implemented, it didn't work because they didn't know what is railway works and all. When there is a rain, how the lubrication will change on the wheel and the track. They could not model those things. So when we go back out, remember, domain knowledge is the fundamental. And we as an engineer, we know that. We can describe our mind, not the data scientist. So AI developed by data scientists purely will not work. I think you got some answer from me. Yeah. Yeah.
But this AI system is more or less just in our olden times. You just know, we used to study machine time and motion study. Like the same thing, the competition is now going to satellite monitoring or cloud operating system like that. The system is there. Analysis becomes very faster.
Yeah.
The manual calculations takes longer time. But the problem is where the deep technical analysis is to be carried out. There, I think the AI is also going to be failed because that's all. You have to be very judicial on applying the things.
Shinab Sahab, actually I don't say I will fail because till 10 days ago I will tell you, I could have agreed 10 days ago. But when QStar came out, this DeepMind, Google DeepMind London actually, it was a big news. It has solved the complex geometrical problem. Earlier, ChatGPT came. You say from point A to point B, takes 2 minutes. Send A plus B to point A, X plus Y, 2%, how long? It will say 8, double. It was not able to do it. Now it's able to do it. So QStar mathematical, I don't know, because the people are doing a lot of deep analysis, deep learning and all those things. And I'm not so deep, we are still struggling how they could solve this geometrical problem actually. So maybe I differ with you a little bit. I beg to differ, I will call it. But yes, Behra Sahab, you can use if you like. Yeah. It may work.
Just one thing I want to know, especially with reference to the investigation, engineering investigations when you are talking of rock mechanics, behavior of rock. That is what I'm saying. So
Yes.
many of the properties are still cannot be determined before it is exposed. I'll tell you because like I'll tell you, the rock, when you are dealing with the rock, it is a natural material. Now till now you do not have a system by which we beyond a surface, nothing can be visible. You cannot able to predict how the joints are, especially when the rock you are dealing with. The joint plays one of the vital roles for the strength and deformation behavior is concerned. And if you do not have a device to do it, and how to do that modeling?
I can tell you, I agree with you, but still I say, all models are wrong, but some are very useful. So we are focusing on the useful models because it has solved many problems, rock mechanics. Because we are able to model something like numerical modelings and all. So it has not given us the correct answer, but it has given us some exact answer, numerical modelings and all. And people are modeling actually, like Kiruna, huge modeling team is sitting with the almost high power computers and all. And from our department only we are doing it. Synthetic data, I'll tell you, actually I was not wanted to get into because I work with data, that's my profession. Reliability engineering, I did data only. What type of data you have, like a seasonal data, like happening something Atlantic, how it will impact the Kiruna formations and all everything, all are data. Now what I'm looking positively, this Q star, Q with a star. If it comes, at least I'm very optimistic person, let me tell you. I'm eternal optimist, people call me. And I always talk 10 years ahead of time. When we started E-maintenance lab, you saw, 2003, I told the fighter planes in Sweden that I will give you data if plane lives in South Africa because they had a problem. You will be able to see from Sweden, Stockholm and Linköping and send your technician 2 days in advance to repair and get, you heard the penalties. And we started our journey 2003. We were established E-maintenance and industrial AI group in Sweden. And we solved them after 10 years. I told them 3 years. And I can tell you why I told them. I said when you can control the Apollo 11 from 69, so we have the technology. How to implement? Why not we can do it in 2000? And they bought it, the argument. You have to sell it. You have to convince them. And we are still partners, we are working with them. Actually, when India bidded for JAS Gripen 39, Bangalore, there are 200 people working, in Hyderabad. Our group name was a logistics supplier actually. So still we have people from, they are lecturers, they are there, but they lectures with us. They are partners in this E-maintenance lab and all. So you have to look into future actually and take some risk. What we call transformative high risk project, these are the. It will change if you succeed. If you fail, you can go. You can, no accounting. So I have a $5 million, about $700,000. I can invest anywhere I want. And I fail. I am ready to fail. This metaverse we built like that only. Nobody was believing. When I gave a speech last year in Montpellier in France, Congress opening, people didn't look at my hybrid model or anything. They all focused on metaverse. How can we use in railway? So it's you have to take some long, you have to stretch your imagination. That's the only limitations we have. Okay? Yes, please.
Actually, we have limited time, so.
Okay, एक आदमी क्वेश्चन, हाँ, ओके, लास्ट या, हाँ, आप बंद कर दीजिए. आप बताइए. There is a lot of risk. Yes. Yes, it will take over and it will be, that's the fear. First people thought 10 years and the Chinese, who are the leader actually. I can tell you it's not US. Traffic from Europe was going to China. Now after this has stopped. Instead of going to Palo Alto in California. And they said we are scared, the Chinese people said. And I can tell you, it will take over and it will be, it's not far off, that's what we are telling. If this complex geometrical calculations, deeper mathematical understanding, this Q star or deep mind reports to last week actually. It will take over. It's better than our intelligence. And that's the fear everyone. And why Sam Altman was fired, you may be knowing, this was the reason. He said to the board got scared. Nobody wants that machine suit. Have you seen D Machina on film? Hollywood film. If you have not seen, it's almost free on the YouTube. D Machine, the machine, where machine takes over the human. It's a 10 years ago or 7 years ago it came. It's a really, what you're asking the question, it is the answer there. You will get a lot of things. Okay, I don't want to be further talking, please.
नहीं बोलता कुछ बोल सकता है शुरू करने देना है
Thank you, Professor Uday Kumar, for presenting such an insightful talk. Those who have more questions can discuss it over lunch.
I would like to call Professor Suprakash Gupta, sir, to felicitate Professor Uday Kumar.
Mic on?
On है.
Lunch तक. That's why. Huh? रिक्वेस्ट बोल तो क्या
Now it's time to recharge yourself with lunch. So I request everyone to head towards the dining area. Thank you. The lunch will be till 2:30 and then we will assemble for panel discussion
on higher education.
of higher education.
अब ओके जमीनी में रखते ना चाक खुदा मार